It's postseason time for the NJIT women's basketball team as the Highlanders will be heading to UMass Lowell on Sunday, as it'll be a 1 o'clock start on ESPN Plus. NJIT, the 6 seed, UMass Lowell, the 3 seed. But, Coach, sometimes you can throw out those seed numbers because at the end of the day, it's about just getting into the dance. And before we jump into this matchup, if you can kind of want to put a cherry on top in what was this first season of America East basketball, so much that happened, but still, your team gets an opportunity to get into the postseason now.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the cherry on top that we're actually able to play a postseason game. Obviously, there are teams in our league that weren't able to make it through, unfortunately. And it's been a crazy year. Obviously, it's been weeks since we've talked. So it's just one of those years that I know we've continued to say that week to week, but I thought January was a really good month for us. We were playing every week. It was a lot of fun. I thought our team was really growing up. And then February, a little bit here, the bottom fell out just because of COVID, unfortunately. And I think maybe the one benefit to us is that we were still preparing for games, and then games kind of at the last minute got canceled, unfortunately, but we were still kind of practicing, thinking that we were playing. So it's not like we've been just like hanging around for a month. We've at least been kind of preparing for games. And then unfortunately, the rug was pulled from us. But I think we're just excited to play a game finally. I think we're incredibly excited to play a tournament game. We know that UMass Lowell will be a very big test. They've had a great year. They're really a tough team, but a team that we played very hard here at in the WEC way back in early January, which feels like 6 years ago, just because of this winter. But I think our team can take some confidence from those two games and put that forward into the game Sunday afternoon.
And you bring up a good point, too, how your team played really well in a sense of just keeping things close, had leads at one point, and just obviously took UMass Lowell down to the wire. I mean, they were a 10-win team in conference play throughout the season. And I know, going back, obviously there were certain things that you were looking to improve upon at that time, but that's in the past. I know the turnovers were certainly something that, may have caused the results that happened back when these two teams played in early part of January. So now that though you've watched film, obviously you've got the opportunity to know that you've played them twice. As you get now really focused and preparing on UMass Lowell, what jumps out to you now about them that may have changed from what you've seen on film prior to the last time when these two teams faced back in early January?
Yeah, they are a little bit different. Not a whole lot in personnel, but they were probably a little bit more guard focused, is what I would say. Obviously, Idom and Sanchez are still very good and still a very big part of what they're doing. But Denise Solis has come roaring here over the last 5 games. I mean, I think she's above 15 points a game. She's shooting over 57% over these last 5 games, and it's really kind of her first where they're looking. And they did a lot of that certainly back in January, but not to the extent where she's really, how she goes is how they play. They played a really tight game with Maine up at Orono where, she was the one that really carried them. So again, we know that they are a very good team. Really, Price hurt us a lot in the games here at the WEC, and so we know that they have weapons everywhere, and also Sears absolutely killed us on the offensive glass. So again, we have a lot of kids to pay attention to, but I think that's why they won 10 games. I think that's why they're a 3 seed, because they can score from a lot of spots. They have some firepower coming off the bench. But we have to pay a little bit more attention to our post defense, and then certainly our transition defense, where those guards can be so creative and be so dangerous. So, they have changed a little bit, I would say, where it's more a little bit inside out. They were a little bit more ball screen offense early in the year, trying to get those guards free. And now I think they're just trying to post up Denise earlier in the offense.
Your team has certainly changed as well, too. I mean, obviously, you talked about how your team has grown a lot through this season. And, obviously with some players, too, I'm sure UMass Lowell wants to keep an eye on. Lizzie, obviously, with her having multiple America East Rookie of the Week honors. And then, of course, what Kenna, the year 2 jump she has had from year 1. and even Ellen, obviously what she's been able to do here in her final season. How excited are you to see that not only those three, but the rest of your team now that they may want to look for some retribution, know how close to the vest those two games were at the WEC, and maybe playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder come Sunday?
Yeah, like I said, I think we just want to play. It's been such a rough February for us that there's a chip on our shoulder because we lost the two games against them. I think there's a chip on our shoulder because we want to get out there and play, and we know how disappointed we've been when we've gotten the news over these last couple of weeks where we couldn't get a game in. So that's been really kind of awful. But we also know the blessing is that we were staying healthy and we were staying practicing, and that's been the nice thing. And I think, we play a certain system. I like to think that we construct our team and our program in a way that we're going to play our best basketball at the end of the year. And so, you get into February and it's kind of like go time. Like this is the time where it all should start to come together. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to prove that out on the court as much as we would have liked in this month. But I think that's a little bit of what we're carrying with us going up to Lowell on Sunday is that we do want to prove that we've improved since January. We want to show, what we are. We want to show this league that, we're happy to be here, that we can compete with anybody in this league. We've shown that at times through the regular season, but we want a really good showing. We want to play our best basketball. That's, as a coach, you want to play your best basketball at the end of the year. I think our freshmen, Al McGuire used to say the best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores. Well, when you get this late in your freshman year, you're basically a sophomore at this point. You have a lot of experience. It's not an excuse anymore. You're expected to play. You're expected to execute. And I think we tried to keep them to that standard here, over the last 3-4 weeks, even though we haven't played games. So I think we're just kind of raring to go. We can't wait to get up there. Let's roll the ball out. It's truly go time now. It's tournament play. And I told him, let's dream a little bit. It would be, it was great to go up to New Hampshire and get that first America East win in school history. It would be really nice to go up and get an American East tournament win for the school. And that's what we want to do.
And we're hoping that you and your team get the job done on Sunday. I know I'll be watching. All of us will be watching and rooting you on from here in New Jersey. So, Coach, as always, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And hopefully we get an opportunity to talk more America East basketball in the coming weeks. So good luck on Sunday, and let's go Highlanders.